to my channel here. Ooh, I do believe that's the first time I've said my channel. That sounds so weird. I've watched YouTube for years. I don't know about you, but I have watched YouTube for many years, and I never ever imagined I would be sitting here on this side of a camera. I've watched all sorts of things, because I think YouTube is just the most amazing thing, isn't it? It just gives us so much information, so much entertainment, so many kindred spirits out there doing similar things to you, or things that you would like to do, or things you just need to learn to do. I used it recently to look at how to fix our washing machine, and I found some very interesting men, usually men in sheds as we call them in our house. And it was very helpful. I think it's lovely. People are very giving. People are very generous, I think, on YouTube. There's a lot of generosity out there in the world, and if we just tap into that, you know, we won't go far wrong as a species. I think if we tap into compassion for other people and kindness and just a bit of generosity goes a long way, don't you think? And a smile. I love smiling at people when I go shopping. I've said this before. It's my favourite trick, is to get somebody else to smile back to me, especially if they're looking really grumpy or sad. And I like to talk to the cashiers in the supermarket and just have a chat with them. And quite a few of them, because I live in a small town, quite a few of them you kind of get to know a little bit, and they get, you know, maybe they get to know a little bit about you. I don't know. It's more that you're, you know, one of thousands of people passing them by, and I think they sit there day after day serving us, you know, so brilliantly. And it's nice, isn't it, when you can make a human connection with somebody else. And I know this is what, for me, this is all about. It's me connecting with other people. Even though I know I can't see you, I know you're there, especially if you leave me a comment and just say hello. That makes it's such a brilliant thing. So yeah, I think it's all about human beings at the moment. I know there's an awful lot of stuff going on in the planet at the moment. There's an awful lot of really distressing things happening, really difficult things happening, and I just hope that perhaps my little channel brings a little bit of peace to other people and a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of creativity. I think you just can't beat a bit of creativity to take you into another zone and away from all your troubles. I know I've found doing this little sketchbook has just been an absolute joy. Honestly, it's quite addictive. I kind of don't want to go and do anything else. I certainly don't. I don't want to go make meals or anything. I just want to be down here. Once you get going, once you get in the zone, and because there's no outcome needed, I'm not making this for something. It's just for the sheer pleasure of playing with what I've got down here. So I'm sorry, I apologise if the light's coming and going. I've tried to sort of put something up as a blind against the window just to try and reduce it a little bit, but I apologise if it gets a bit leery. I'm down here in the morning, and this is where I get the morning sun coming in, which is absolutely beautiful, but sometimes it's a little bit bright for filming, so I do my best. I'm totally an amateur at this, you know. I mean, all of us, I think most YouTubers just start out with a phone and a desire to do it. So none of us are really professionals at this, so I hope you'll forgive. And anyway, the most important thing is to get on with this today. I'm so excited to show you what we're going to be doing today. Who knows what it's going to be? Let's get stuck in and get going. Okay, so these are some of the pages that I did last week, which you will hopefully remember. Just lots and lots of splodgy printing, having fun, creating sort of landscapey backgrounds, basically. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to turn them over. Now they're dry enough, I can turn these over, print the other side so that I get 2 pages out of one, as it were. I don't want to waste any paper, so I'm going to put some paint out on my little palette here. Ooh. Little splodges here and there. I'll put it to this one today. And we're just going to get messing about again. So I've got some other different things to play with this week. So I'm just going to see what we're going to do here. I'm not quite sure. Let's just start. You see, when you don't know what to do, the best thing to do is just start, because I haven't got a clue what I'm going to be doing. But what I want to do is play, because that's not very exciting. But I'm just thinking, if I then took, say, some of this really dark green and put that in the mix, it's got to be wet enough for the paint to sort of come onto the net, but not be so. So we'll just see. This may do something, it may do nothing, as I say. It may be just, oh, but I like that. If you get enough paint on it, that begins to look like, I don't know, foresty sort of things on the hillside. So I'm just wondering if I take a little bit of the brown. As I say, this is me experimenting, and you can be doing this at home with your bits and bobs. You know, there's no rocket science involved here at all, and it doesn't have to be right. It's not about it being right. Ooh, see, I like the marks it's making on there actually. I'm just wondering whether I could, there we go, I like that with a line of brown across it. I'm just wondering whether I could perhaps take that off, maybe use a bit of that on here even. If I just do it very gently. Ooh, look, you see, every time I'm making marks on there with the page, it's got some lovely little lines there, and I like what it's doing to what's on here. That's really lovely. So I'm just thinking, well, if I took one of these perhaps and do the same across here, we'll just see what we'll get. So every time you're doing it, you're losing more and more control of it. You're taking it further and further on a journey. Each of these pages is kind of a journey of exploration and seeing what might come. And I'm loving making paint like this, just splodging these colours together like a child would do and not worrying about what's going to come out. So now I'm going to be really brave. I'm just going to scop some of this on here like that. That's a very technical term, you understand, scopping. And I'm just going to see whether this does anything for it. A little bit. Takes a little bit knocking back the paint so it's no longer just a plain piece of paint going across there. It gives it instantly a little bit of depth. And I'm thinking, well, what else can I do? If I take a little bit of something else, what else could I take? Ooh. Now this is my favourite stuff. It's beautiful corrugated paper or corrugated card. This is nice because it's quite thin and narrow, so it kind of suits the scale of this. So I'm just thinking, if I plodge onto here, do that other bit so you can see it. If I take that and just plodge onto there, okay, and then we're going to just take that and scop that on there like that. I might just run the roller over. There we go. You see, look at that. Now then we're building something here. And again, it's a little bit wet, but you could take that. Let's just see what happens if we see if we can take some of that off there onto there. I don't know whether it'll work. No idea. No, it hasn't kept the lines, but it doesn't matter. It's made a nice sort of splodgy pattern on it. I'm just going to see if I get that blob of paint off there because I don't like that. That's a bit... Ooh, hang on. Something else is happening here. Hang on. This is what happens, is you sort of lose control because you're just going, oh, wait a minute. Hang on, I need to do something with that now. Just a sec. Just need another little bit of kitchen paper or something just to kind of knock that back a little bit. But you can start to see, you know, I don't know, just the countryside basically, the landscape. Put a bit of more wet paint on there. Just make it a little bit of sort of a general sort of wishy-washy colour. A little bit of wishy-washiness here. Let's just do that. Put that on there like that, okay. And we're just going to take this and see what happens if we do this. There we go, let's see. There we go. See, and you could take that, you see, and then you could perhaps print with that up there. I think I may not actually be using this for my sketchbook on holiday. I think I'm already making the landscape here. Maybe it's evolved into a whole different project. Maybe it's not what I thought it was going to be. I think I'll still take it on holiday with me, but I'm definitely getting some interesting things going on here, which I'm really enjoying.